Known as the first primary in the nation, the New Hampshire primary weighs heavily in the political landscape, setting the tone for the rest of the election season. Today we have some familiar faces making headlines. Former President Donald Trump, a controversial figure with a strong following, is back in the ring, hoping to make a decisive win. On the other side we have Nikki Haley, a hopeful who's projecting optimism and determination in the face of a challenging race. And let's not forget the incumbent, President Joe Biden, whose strategy seems to be more focused on the GOP primary and a potential rematch with Trump than on the New Hampshire Democratic primary itself. These are the main players, each with their own unique strategies and challenges. Stay with us as we unpack the events of this monumental day. The New Hampshire primary has shown some strong support for former President Donald Trump. The Granite State's Republican primary voters, it appears, have a soft spot for Trump, and this could potentially translate into a decisive victory for his camp. This win would be more than just a feather in his cap, it would be a signal, a prelude to the general elections. Trump's team, ever so strategic, isn't just sitting on this potential win. They're using it as a springboard, planning to pivot to the general elections if he does indeed win by a decisive margin in New Hampshire. The focus is on critical swing states, the battlegrounds where the real electoral war will be fought. The intention is clear. Expand operations, dig deeper roots, and prepare for a robust general election campaign. However, the road to a potential Trump triumph isn't all roses. There's a palpable hesitation among some Republicans to publicly endorse him. This reluctance stems from a variety of concerns, including his legal issues, the fallout from the Capitol insurrection, and his isolationist positions. They're walking a tightrope, balancing party loyalty and personal reservations. Yet despite these hurdles, Trump's team remains undeterred. They're projecting strength and determination, gearing up to take on whatever challenges the general elections might throw at them. This resilience, this refusal to back down, is a testament to their belief in Trump's leadership and his ability to steer the country towards what they perceive as the right direction. If the exit polls hold true, Trump's team is gearing up for a robust general election campaign. Despite the strong showing for Trump, Nikki Haley and her team are not backing down. This is the mantra that is driving Haley's campaign as they navigate the choppy waters of the New Hampshire primary. Haley's optimism and determination during this pivotal moment in the race cannot be overstated. While others may waver in the face of Trump's formidable presence, Haley's team has chosen to take a different path. They've chosen to stand tall, to project an image of resilience and tenacity that is as unshakable as it is inspiring. But it's not just Haley's team that is displaying this grit and resolve. Haley's voters too are demonstrating a kind of steadfastness that is often absent from the political landscape. Exit polls show that while they may have reservations about a Trump nomination, they're not letting these doubts sway their loyalty to Haley. They have chosen to stand by her, to support her, even in the face of a potential Trump nomination that could shake the very foundations of their political beliefs. But what is it about Haley that inspires this kind of loyalty? Is it her unyielding determination, her refusal to back down in the face of adversity? Or is it her optimism, her unwavering belief in the possibility of a brighter future? Whatever it is, it's clear that Haley has struck a chord with her supporters, one that resonates deeply and passionately within them. Of course, this doesn't mean that Haley's road to the nomination will be easy. The reservations among her voters about a Trump nomination are real and palpable. And yet, despite these concerns, Haley's campaign remains undeterred. They continue to project positivity, even in the face of challenging poll numbers. They continue to believe in Haley, in her vision for America, and in the possibility of a future that is brighter, better, and more inclusive for all. So as the New Hampshire primary unfolds, one thing is clear. Nikki Haley and her team are not backing down. They are standing tall, remaining hopeful, and continuing to fight for a future they believe in. Haley's campaign continues to project positivity even in the face of challenging poll numbers. While the Republican primary takes center stage, President Joe Biden's team is playing a different game. Instead of getting caught up in the frenzy of the primaries, they are observing from the sidelines, focused on the big picture. The strategy is clear. Keep a watchful eye on the GOP primary, prepare for a potential rematch with Trump, and not to be distracted by the hoopla of the New Hampshire Democratic primary. Biden's campaign, strategic and measured, has been closely monitoring the developments in the Republican camp. They are keenly aware of the strong favor Trump enjoys among New Hampshire Republican primary voters, as well as the reservations held by Haley voters. The team is well aware that both sets of voters would be dissatisfied if the other candidate won the nomination, and are thus preparing for any eventuality. But while the focus is on the GOP, there's also a significant internal transition taking place within Biden's team. Top advisors, including Jen O'Malley-Dillon and possibly Mike Donnellan and Anita Dunn, are expected to move over to Biden's re-elect campaign earlier than anticipated. This strategic move is meant to bolster the president's re-election bid, ensuring a seamless transition and a strong campaign structure. As part of this strategy, Biden has also sharpened his attacks on Trump. He's blaming him for the Supreme Court's ruling on Roe v. Wade, a move that aligns with the Democrats' focus on mobilizing voters around reproductive rights. This shift in strategy is a clear indication of the president's focus on key issues that resonate with voters, further solidifying his preparation for a potential rematch. Biden's team is clearly bracing themselves for a rematch with Trump. They're playing a different game, one that's less about the noise and more about the long haul. And as we move further into the election season, it's becoming increasingly clear that the Biden team is leaving no stone unturned in their quest for re-election. The New Hampshire primary is more than just a vote. It sets the stage for the rest of the election season. First, let's take a look at the implications of the New Hampshire primary results on campaign strategies. With a decisive win for Trump, his team is likely to pivot to the general election, expanding operations in critical swing states. On the other hand, Nikki Haley's team, despite facing a setback, is projecting optimism and determination, indicating they're not backing down just yet. But it's not just about the individual campaigns. The New Hampshire primary carries a significant weight in shaping the mood of voters nationwide. Exit polls indicated that Trump was favored by New Hampshire Republican primary voters, while Haley voters had more reservations. Now these reservations, coupled with hesitation among some Republicans to publicly endorse Trump, could lead to a shift in voter sentiment as the election season progresses. On the Democratic front, it seems President Biden's team is more focused on monitoring the GOP primary than engaging in their own. This could be a strategic move to understand the competition before formulating a counter-strategy. Moreover, Biden sharpening his attacks on Trump, particularly around the Supreme Court's ruling on Roe v. Wade, suggests a strategy that could mobilize voters around reproductive rights. Also noteworthy is the role of undeclared voters in New Hampshire. These voters who take their role as the first in the nation seriously could sway the election in unexpected ways. Their participation in the primary is reflective of a broader nationwide interest in the 2024 elections. Finally, let's not forget about the potential third run of Bernie Sanders. The fact that he hasn't ruled out a 2024 presidential run could add an interesting dynamic to the Democratic primary and the general election. As we've seen today, the New Hampshire primary can be a game changer. Only time will tell how this will shape the 2024 elections. As we wrap up our coverage of the New Hampshire primary, let's look ahead. The political landscape is buzzing with anticipation as the election season continues to unfold. The primary has set the stage, but there's still much to look forward to. Many eyes are now trained on the upcoming primaries, with voters and analysts alike eager to see how the momentum from New Hampshire will carry forward. The strategies of the candidates are likely to evolve as well. Trump's team, buoyed by their success, may pivot to the general election, while Haley's camp will continue to project optimism and determination. Meanwhile, Biden's advisors will start transitioning to his re-elect campaign sooner than anticipated, sharpening their focus on key issues like reproductive rights. And let's not forget about the potential wildcard entrants. With whispers of Bernie Sanders considering another run, and the likes of Ron DeSantis and Kristi Noem being pitched as potential GOP candidates, the race is far from over. Thank you for joining us in this coverage of the New Hampshire primary. We will continue to keep you updated on all the latest election news. Until next time, this is your dedicated news source signing off.